I mean, you cut to Seth Rollins in the front row. He's got a tear in his eye. You just know that that was something very, very special.
August 22nd, 2015, Barclays Center, Brooklyn. Bayley walked in that arena with a hand injury, having been just told that she is not good for the main roster, without anyone telling her. And then 30 minutes later, 16,000 fans walked out of the arena having witnessed something they didn't have the words for. Because that night, Bayley and Sasha Banks changed women's wrestling forever. For years, a women's match in WWE meant one thing: a bathroom break, a time when fans checked their phones, a butterfly belt that felt like a joke. The Divas Championship had been around since 2008, and for most of those 7 years, it existed as a secondary attraction. There were talented women on that roster, but nobody was giving them 20 minutes to prove it. That's what women's wrestling was in 2015. August 22nd, 2015 is the night that stopped being true. Bayley, the underdog everyone loved but nobody backed. July 13th, 2015, Monday Night Raw. Stephanie McMahon declares that a revolution is coming to the women's division, and she calls up 3 NXT stars: Charlotte, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Bayley was us. She was the fan who somehow ended up in the ring. The girl who came to WWE events as a kid turned that love into a career. She wasn't cool. She wasn't edgy. She hugged people and she meant it. Sasha Banks, she was the opposite. She was the boss. She was everything that Bayley wasn't. Calculated, cold, ruthless, and then walked right past her on her way to a bigger stage. The storytelling was already there. All Bayley and Sasha Banks had to do was deliver. What made this match special was 3 specific moments, 3 shifts that took 16,000 people on a journey they weren't ready for. For the first half of the match, Sasha Banks was dismantling Bayley systematically. She put her in submissions and that made you wince just watching. And then Bayley stopped selling the hand and started fighting through it, refusing to go down even when she had every logical reason to give up. That's when Brooklyn stood up. Not because she was winning, but because she refused to quit. And then came the finish. Bayley had doubts about the reverse Hurricane Rana going in.
Yes, I had doubts doing the reverse Rana. I wanted to give her the match of her life, so I didn't want to say like, oh, I don't want to do that, I'm too scared.
And she did it anyway, from the top rope on a broken hand. The Bayley to Bayley followed, and as that arena counted along, she pinned Sasha Banks to become the NXT Women's Champion. Sasha Banks didn't storm off. She got up and she hugged Bayley. Charlotte and Becky came down. All 4 women stood together in that ring and the place went up.
But when he counted to 3, I literally sat up, and if you look at me, I'm just like, finally! And I look over and Mercedes is crying on the floor. And then that just messed me up. Then I start crying, and then I look at my family and they're freaking crying.
This match didn't just change what happened inside the WWE, it changed the conversation outside it. Britt Baker said it directly.
Oh, I think, speaking of the devil, probably Bayley or Sasha. It'd have to be one of them, because those are 2 of like my role models that I watched when I was first training to be a wrestler. So that's something, well, but I mean, that's 5 years ago. So that's when I was training, they were main eventing NXT Takeover. So that was when the tides were turning. They kind of paved the way for my generation of wrestling. Even though they're still in my generation, they came before me.
Cora Jade, she said,
the takeover matches with her and Bayley are some of my favorites, and just watching them at the time, it just inspired me so much more and made me want to be here so much more.
6 months after this match at WrestleMania 32, Lita walked to that ring and retired the Divas Championship, the butterfly belt, the symbol of everything that had held women back, gone. They didn't call them divas anymore. They called them what they always were, women. But here's what I keep coming back to. The legacy of TakeOver Brooklyn isn't really about championships or call-ups or even title histories. It's about what it did to us fans. It taught us to pay attention to women's wrestling. It taught us that the women's match wasn't the bathroom break. It was sometimes the reason to stay in your seat. It reprogrammed how an entire generation of wrestling fans consumed the product. Rhea Ripley grew up watching this. Bianca Belair grew up watching this. Io Sky, Roxanne Perez, all of them came up in a WWE that was fundamentally different because of what happened in Brooklyn. And one last thing. The woman Stephanie McMahon forgot to mention on July 13th, 2015, she went on to become WWE's first female Grand Slam champion. She won the Royal Rumble in 2024. She won the Women's Championship at WrestleMania 40. Brooklyn was always going to be Bayley's, and that's how Sasha Banks and Bayley on August 22nd, 2015 changed women's wrestling forever. As usual, I am Hari from Wrestling Scenarios signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.